What's going on, everybody? Today we have our $55 Trek flea market bike. Now this bike looks great, but it's got a couple issues. And the issues are it will not shift. So in this video I'm going to be showing you how to service a Shimano EZ Fire shifter. I know these shifters are in great shape because this bike has not been ridden, so it's got no miles on it. What happens is Shimano uses a grease inside of this shifter, and what happens is that grease starts to get hard and it causes the pawls to not work. It'll shift down a couple of gears and it'll shift up a couple of gears, but then that's it. It only goes up to 5. So we're going to fix this shifter where it goes through all the gears. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is there are a couple of screws in the top of the shifter. So what you need is you need a small Phillips head screwdriver, and you need to have a nice towel underneath here, because these screws, if they fall off and they hit the ground, you will never find them. They're very small. So let's get some close-ups here. Now, just to let you know, this is for the Shimano EF25 shifter. So the first thing we want to do is we want to unscrew this screw right here, and be sure to keep your rag handy because these screws love to fall out. So we're going to unscrew that all the way. We're going to unscrew this other one all the way. And then you want to pull the plastic cover off. Okay. And then I'm going to carefully put it on the blue rag, and I'm going to put it aside. Now, if you're inspecting this shifter, you'll notice that there is going to be some moving parts in here. And the big thing is right here, there's actually what's called a pawl. And what happens is this pawl moves with a spring, and whenever this pawl gets all sticky from all the grease, then it moves one way but not the other. So what you need to do is you need to get some of your Triflo. Be sure to shake it up thoroughly, and you want to put a drop of oil on the top of the pawl and a drop of oil down at the bottom. And while you're at it, you might as well put it a little bit of everywhere. You also want to put, there's another pivot right here that you want to put Triflo, a generous amount of Triflo on that. The next step is to exercise this pawl. So what we're going to do is we're going to push it in a little bit. I'm going to push the shifter in just a little bit and push this pawl in all the way into one of the in between the two teeth, and then I'm going to push it out. Now you want to be very careful because there's a small spring located just right here on the top. You do not want to damage this spring. So just keep exercising the pawl in and out. I'm going to push the shifter in just a little bit, push the pawl in until I see it fall in between the teeth there, which I apologize, this camera is the best thing I've got right now. And I feel it getting a little bit easier. The tri-flow is working its way in. Because the pawl is starting to go in on its own. And I'm doing this the whole time I'm doing this, keeping this probe off of that spring. And you'll know whenever it's done, whenever you can let go of the pawl and it snaps back into place. And I'll service the front shifter here in a second, and maybe I can get a different angle with the camera where you'll be able to see it better. We're almost there. At this point, the shifter will start working. Well, almost. Let's try this again in just a second. It wasn't shifting a second ago. Let's try it again. Okay, so if we go slow, the pawl, if we go fast, the pawl doesn't work. If we go slow, it's starting to fall into place. So close. It's definitely working faster now, but we want it to snap into place. Okay, so there we go. It's now actually making an audible snap. So now it works going fast. So we can shift down, and we can also shift up. Okay, it needs a little bit more work. It's going all the way, but I'm having to go slower. Okay, so we've got first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh out of a 7-speed. We're going to add a little more tri-flow. And we're going to now make sure that whenever you're shifting that you're pedaling at the same time. You don't want to shift this and because if the derailleur's not able to move, it will damage the derailleur and the shifter. There we go. Do you hear that? Snap, snap. That's exactly what we're looking for now. So you have to keep working it. Okay. We're going to shift it to 7th gear, and then we're going to carefully get our rag, our blue towel, with the window here. We're going to move it to 7, so you can actually turn this little top piece here. It's on 7, and we're going to carefully place this on top and give it this a little wiggle. And then we're going to screw this back into place. And you want to screw it until it makes contact, and then just give it a little bit of a turn. If you over tighten this, you will damage the plastic cover. We're going to screw this in until it makes contact and just give it a little bit of a turn. And that is the first shifter working like new. Why buy a new shifter if you don't have to? Let's do the next one. Alright, this shifter took me a little longer than I thought. It took around 10 minutes. Part of that was handling the camera, being careful around the camera, and the other one was this shifter was being a little stubborn. But as you can see, the shifter is working like a champ. So now that this is done, let's work on this one right here. Let's turn the camera a little bit, and you'll notice that this shifter isn't doing anything. It'll shift down 1 and it'll shift up 1, but it won't go to the 3rd gear. Let's open this up and do the same thing and get this one working. Here's what we've got with the finished product. We've got this Trek 800 where all the gears work on the rear, and we've got it where all the gears work on the front. I know that's kind of noisy, but I hope this video was helpful for you. If it was helpful, please leave me a big thumbs up, tell your friends, and check out some other videos on the corner of the screen, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.